So this is probably a good game. It's like fairly even except for the last round. This is 27 grand finals product. I think we lose a couple of rounds or something.
It's the one you sent me.
I'm not no, I don't think so.
I think I watched one of them, but I'm not sure.
So I immediately take the high ground up here of the winger to get vision. That's the key thing, and I try and play up here a lot.
Yep.
It's really good for avoiding all sorts of damage.
Right. And you pulled out 2 soldiers, soldiers on the right, damage, scouts on the point.
When they bomb me, I try and jump into them, follow their kind of path a bit so I can shoot them more easily.
They're all like in a corner, so I need to call the soldiers on his own.
Yeah.
So okay, let's see. So it's Cap. Damn.
It's possible that they attempt to sack here, which is why I'm up here, because it means I'm not taking tons of damage, I get good vision, and I can deny players.
Right, it's because it's even Ubers and you just call the Cap, so yeah, okay.
This is not, I should be trading into them earlier here. Okay, this is not a very good trade for us.
So bad for you ending on the point. I'm just gonna try and
this is right.
Yeah, okay.
Ideally what I'm trying to do there is trade into them on their side, so and get a multi so my Uber lasts longer, and I'm pressuring their flank back while they're in a worse position, so the post is good for my team. What ended up happening is they kind of baited in my Rocky trade, as it's called, and they just milked out my Uber.
Yeah, okay, right. Kind of reminds me of a really long, fucking never-ending pit fight.
It essentially is.
Yeah, okay.
we just get raped. But the thing is, we got a pick here, and the way product works is the team who has the point has they spawn a lot slower. So you'll observe their soldier died before our players, I believe, or something, but we're up before him, which is a window of opportunity to pressure in.
Yeah, okay.
So, key thing you're going to be doing is checking for dangerous stickies like that and clear them.
Okay. How come there's no sniper in this game?
It's just not particularly meta in our region, I guess. Okay, so taking a trade. It seems pretty rough, I think. Oh no, it's alright. We're missing 2 players, so yeah, we probably lost this round.
Right.
It was pretty. Yeah, it was a pretty balanced game, except for the couple of final rounds.
Right.
But I'm still present, despite us not actually going in, because I'm still getting information and making sure they're not they don't get away with any shit or any traps. That's really important.
Right. That's a big deal with combo scouting this.
Yeah.
Just not giving up as much as you can for free.
Yeah. Now this is called edging, where we edge the point. It's not the edging you're used to, but it's arguably better.
It's an epic base, even intensive. I have no idea what you're talking about. It seems very hard for in this meta to kind of capitalize with soldier bombs, because the scouts are always double buffed and they're always in a good spot in this map.
Yeah.
I think the other Koth map might be a bit more soldier favored. I don't really look at it much.
Yeah. So here we got a pick and we had Uber and the point, so we're just trying to take it as slow as you want, and basically, because you don't need to actually really do anything except not let them cap in that stage and not lose players. So they've essentially achieved a sack here, a sack wave, which means they're going to be coming in with an Uber advantage.
Oh, so okay.
So that gives them options, they can either Uber into us or they can pressure us out with their Uber presence.
Yeah. I
actually call for a sack into them. So
yep. Okay.
Alright, and it works out well for us. So, and they're not capping. What I called for there is as they walk in, I do a double soldier sack into them.
Yep.
And I really like that move because it's usually very fucking easy to crush them when they're behind their cliff over there with your soldiers.
Yeah, it's like a little death valley.
Yeah, and the benefit is they're not getting all that ground, and they're popping early. And if they want to actually kill us with their Uber, it means they're going to chase a massive distance, and they're not capping the point. They popped and they chased us and they got frags, but look at the fucking thing down here. They're not actually achieving the objective.
Okay.
It might have been better had they got the medic, but
it didn't.
No.
There's really like
I call that defensive sacking. Yeah, go on.
It's kind of a homo to spot the big rock because then the demo has like single burst stickies on it.
It's
like
hard.
It's a place you want to like. I feel like I'm starting to notice in this game is like when you spam, you want to hit as many people as you can.
Yeah.
So then, conversely, when you're taking like a high position, you want it to be like, damn, do I shoot this guy or do I shoot the other guy?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, precisely. What they did there was like a sack wave. They knew we were about to get Uber very soon, or we had Uber, and they were not close to it at all. So it's essentially in their best interest to force our medic. So they flew in, and we just tried to clean them up without getting popped or dropped.
Right, I smell you. What the fuck, like, can you explain, I swear to God, like, this wasn't here before when I played, like, what is, like, this sack concept? Like, how do you sack, when do you sack, why? Because I know that, like, a single sack's kind of, like, cringe.
Sack means sacrifice, right?
Right.
And it means you're essentially throwing a dude, or dudes into their deaths to achieve an objective, usually to force the medic.
Okay, so some World War I shit.
Yep. So,
yeah.
So they currently don't have the point, we have Uber. If they were to come and fight us, there's a lot of impetus on us to pop in and crush them and ideally kill the medic. Right. That's a high risk move for them to get away with. So instead they take the low risk but like fairly low chance of succeeding sack, or relatively low chance of succeeding sack attempt, where they just literally mong in all their players except their pocket scout to attempt to force the medic.
Okay.
And if this dude pops Arnold, that means that they're gonna now have nearly a full Uber advantage, despite despite not having the point, and they're gonna try and use that presence of Uber and to muscle out and maybe either pop on us aggressively or just force us out.
Right.
It did not work out for them. They failed the sack. So
a straight dry push with like no Uber is actually rather rare in this game. Like kind of regarding.
Sorry, say it again.
Like a dry push with no Ubers, but like. I feel like I never see that. It's like either sack or like an Uber push. Or
it's fairly common. Like when both teams on CoF maps, when both teams don't have Uber, right?
Yep.
And one obviously is going to have the point. The other team is pretty much always going to be doing some sort of dry fight.
Okay, like edging dryly. Well.
Yeah, we're trying to like take ground and end up taking the point.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a perpetual like pushing, I guess.
Really, like 66. That's not really. I mean, in fucking capture points. Like, I feel like I never really see like dry pushes.
CoF.
It's kind of like no, like CP.
Well, this is all capture point, but this is CoF and the other fives.
Yeah, the other one, fives. I'm like derping. So I feel like I never really see as many like dry pushes in general. It's either like this or that. If that makes sense.
Maybe. It depends on like what sort of bracket you're playing in and stuff. I find there's a lot of like dry pushing in the sort of teams I play in.
Right.
I like dry pushing. I like to like.
Yeah, I like it too.
When I have player ads, I like to try and play on them, even if there's not necessarily Ubers.
Yep.
For the record, I dry pushes to me is like pushing when you don't have Uber, or no one has Uber, and I guess you could call it like a wet push or just a muscle push when you do have Uber.
Yeah, okay, makes sense. You guys are holding it.
It's not
Uber.
I'm playing in this position here because I want to like force them as early as I can, and then I'm using my Uber to pressure their flank, so by the time the post is over, their flank is weak and their combo is out of position. That's kind of my goal.
And then you kind of like do a sort of like a pincer with yourself and like the rest of the team.
You can do that, which is effective.
Yep. So a lot about the like using the Uber effectively is like where's it going to end up in 5?
Yeah, it's a huge part of it. Like you want to be, the key parts of the Uber is like where the Uber trade starts, who you shoot during it, i.e. you want to be like forcing multis or shooting non-Ubered players, so that thus they're going to be more irrelevant for the post, and then there's your post, like how you want to play. I like to often on this map I like to actually end flanking enemies because it applies a lot of pressure, even though it's kind of high risk. Redco wisely tries to like push me off the rock there because it's a good spot.
Yeah, but that's a difficult fucking sticky point. Yeah, and it means you're not like sticking his friends, one of your friends.
Yep. We'll get raped by pipes.
The point is now available for capture. Alert. The control point is being captured.
We got the demo somehow, which is massive.
Yeah.
and they cap, so that demo's spawn is going to be extended, and ours is relatively lower. So our goal here is just to like muscle them back without feeding, and try and edge the point while this demo is irrelevant. It's in their best interest to make time by like pushing into us and trading, or just like not letting us trade into them. What I should have done is trade into them immediately while their demo wasn't relevant. That would have been the play.
Right. Because then you're gonna go force them to pop, but like you always have that advantage. You have like demo and they know.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Typically, if soldiers are flying past your team like that, it's a group focus fire thing. Like at least the scouts and maybe stickies.
Yeah. So like the differentiates like the best from like the greatest is like, I mean the good from the great is like how fast they can like change their like on a dime, like how fast
very reactive and fluid. A huge part of it is like isolate, or this is true in fives, but it's particularly true in KOF that a major part of playing this mode is playing the player advantages, and the way you maximize that is by target focusing anyone who's vulnerable.
Right, okay.
And just like, because focus firing a target will often result in them dying extremely quickly if done properly, which is more effective than everyone just shooting anyone. So it's even Ubers. All we need to do here is chill and not let them take the point and push them back. Because this game is about the clock.
Right. Because you guys are the clock ticking food.
Yeah. So we're essentially we got the pick here. All we need to do is survive and not let them cap it, really.
Yeah.
Steal your demo's ammo. It's important. Yeah. See, so essentially they lost a player. They can't really commit properly. Their player disad becomes more and more prevalent over time, because that's a soldier who's like not reloading rockets and putting out rockets, obviously,
and not like being threatening to jump, etc.
Yeah. So over time, you can kind of think of like a Dota character like Necro or Slark or something, or the negative of that. Like over time, you accumulate that advantage, and you want to retain that player advantage. Because it just becomes stronger over time, and the last thing you want to do is throw. It's all you need to do. It's like when you get some sort of massive player ad, like even just one player is huge on KOF, is retain that and just hold the point, which is what we're attempting to do right now.
So it's like a pos forward, for example, when he's dead, he's not off the map, he's just dead. Yeah, okay.
They take an extremely aggressive Uber to chase us.
It could be good.
Yeah, it's okay for them. I'd say it wasn't, because they spent their entire Uber and chased all the way.
I was gonna say it only kind of worked out because it looked like you guys just didn't deal with it properly, because they were like really far back. Yeah,
the problem is when you extend this far with your medic, like this blue medic, it means he's going to be extremely out of position by the end. Hence why I just tried to kill him. Is probably the best thing I can do.
Okay.
Because I don't know if it will happen, but if we see in a second, they're not really capping, and they probably can't do that because they don't have the medic there, which should mean we should be able to walk back in on them soon.
Right.
Maybe not actually. Yeah, we have a player disad here because our scouts are rolling out, so all we want to do is kind of chill until we get players. Like losing Fade here is probably a mistake.
Doing some damage.
Somehow get a demo. That's pretty much always a good trade, like even a pocket scout for a demo.
So that's like kind of like not a sack, but like sort of just like a really aggressive play.
Well, it might as well be a sack. Like I'm probably gonna die. You're trading yourself for a player. Sack is typically characterized by a stalemate, soldiers jumping in.
The same.
Yeah.
Do that.
So I'm really trying to clear stickies here.
Yeah.
Rough trade for us, I think.
Yeah, it doesn't look the best.
I do multi the fuck out of them though, which is like kind of redeeming.
Right. So when you're like that, you just aim to like pump 105s into like as many people as you can, or kill them to like either get them really low deep host, or like force them to like share the Uber.
So players are around the enemy medic typically are going to be your key target. You want to either shoot them, thus forcing the medic to flash them, or force the medic to flash them by the fact you're about to shoot them.
Yep.
And then
Oh,
that's like your tier list. Well, like
Yep.
the tier list is force them, and then you shoot anyone near the combo,
Yep.
thus making them flash. And then once you've done that, pepper like anyone who's shouldn't be in their Uber, thus making them weaker for the post.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
The only reason this isn't like terribly bad for us is because like I got a multi on them, but my trade is worse at the start. I think we lose this round. So I'm just trying to creep the point here.
Yep.
And that's beef. That's alright. Beef, beef, beef. Arnold survives, so it's not terrible. What this should result in is us getting a player ad due to the staggered. You see they spawn slower than us, I think.
Right.
That soldier.
We kind of got one more push before the round ends.
Yeah. And then we're trying to like edge the point here, or try into them.
So overtime was also a big deal.
This was kind of desperation, and we lost because I didn't have charge.
The time ran out. Yeah, okay, that's right. There's a lot of rounds in this.
Yeah. I think there's 2 more.
Feels like it's very momentum based, like morale's fatigue too.
Absolutely. Yeah. Positive energy is important.
Yeah.
I go lower this time. I think
because you were sticking before, isn't he?
Yeah, I think I called a push onto the. So the cap doesn't open for like 20 seconds or something.
Right. So this is where you just take positions and like choke them out.
That's alright.
Very consensual.
The control point is being captured.
We get some good picks, but the key pick is by far and away the medic. Because,
because he's like, what is it, 40 seconds to build Uber.
Yeah, so they're gonna have I think they essentially have Uber now, which means like we have to force them.
Sack.
Well, what we don't want to like just double sack from a distance because that's really easy for them to see and defend against. We kind of want to like the fact they have Uber, right, which is like a presence for them that they can exploit, but we have also kind of got presence in the sense that they know that we're trying to force them. Yep. And we try and leverage that by like not just sacking into them from across the map because they can easily just get on the high ground and
play safe, play passive.
But if they do that, that means the point is more vulnerable, which means that I can start edging the point and get the objective.
Right, okay.
And then that incentivizes them to come and expose themselves.
Yeah.
Lest they risk give up the point, which then opens them up to getting bombed by.
Yeah, okay. So it's very cerebral.
Yeah. That's what Rez and I are trying to do here. It's like you can see like they're positioned.
Yeah, they're all like way in the back. They're like ready for like these like stupid brainless jumps.
Yeah, they're ready for our soldiers to monk sack into them.
Yeah, they're now putting the onus on them to like make a move, despite the fact they have Uber, which you guys like know. So it kind of like also in like a really weird way puts them into like a sort of onus that you guys can exploit.
Yeah, you can kind of. They don't want to lose their advantage, like their Uber advantage, so they become defensive to the point where it can be exploited. Yeah.
Like the fucking when someone has a double damage and they just.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I was going to say something else, but I think I forgot.
You guys are edging.
They're forced to come forward. Oh yeah, I was going to say like if the enemy medic's really far away, that means that's an incentive to play the objective. If he's really close, that means you're not going to get the point, but they're overextended to the point where you should be exploiting that and sacking them.
Yeah, trying to get that force out.
I pretty much do that I do this on 5s as well. Not just cough, but like I try and observe where the enemy medic and usually where the enemy demo is. If they're super far away, I try and take ground and either turn that into a sack or a trade if I have Uber, if I were to have Uber. But if they're super close, then that's an opportunity to just sack them.
Yeah, okay, cool.
So they're forced to come forward now. It doesn't I think, and then we sack, I think.
Yeah, okay, cool. And then
we get the pop, yeah.
Oh yeah, fantastic. And try and get out, like,
we force their hand there. Ideally I shouldn't be dying, or I should just killbind the moment my soldier dies if I'm not going to get out.
Yeah, so you get the spawn.
And we get the same wave, which is important.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you guys have got.
Unfortunately, yeah. So this is now turned around in a little sense that we have the Uber now.
Yep.
And we've also got a lot of cap time, which is presence as well. So I'm not sure what they do, but we should be trying to I think we should be trying to muscle in with our Uberad presence and then and contest the point. And they probably don't want to allow that, or they're going to sack us. But we'll have to see.
So you're probably too high of fucking percentage to sit in spawn grinding.
Yeah. Well, they don't. They probably think we're close to Uber. Oh, we lose our medic actually. That's rough. They just did a successful sack against us, which is we should have probably defended against it better. But what ends up happening is they commit pretty much everyone to it. So it's a fairly high likelihood they're going to achieve the successful medic pick. When they do that many players, when we're pushing up like that aggressively. I didn't anticipate them committing this many players for a defensive sack. But the downside to it is that we have a tremendous amount of cap time, and our team spawns are going to be much faster than this. So what we actually do here is we wait for our players to spawn before we cap, because once you cap, it changes the spawn ratio. If we were to cap here, like right now, our players' spawns would be extended by 5 seconds or something.
Yeah, those would be quicker.
So that's a key thing. If you do not have the if you do not have the point, you want to make sure your players spawn first before you cap.
Okay.
And similarly, you don't necessarily want to cap too fast to make them spawn faster, that sort of thing.
Right.
So if you watch the top left, you can see they're down for a substantial amount of time, to the point where I think I call for a defensive sack here, because what I'm doing is I'm trying to find out where the medic's coming from, and then and this is an ideal circumstance for my soldiers, which I think I'm doing. I'm calling for them to sack. And it's very hard for them to defend against this sort of thing. So we're trying to force them here, and then we're trying to fuck off, and we're trying to make them in a futile way overly chase us while not getting the objective, and then we probably come back in.
Yeah.
So it might not work out, but
the theory's there.
I think it's failing, actually. Yeah, it's not working out for us. But that's the idea. So they just play it, and they get picked off at the end here, which is really awful. Yeah, that's rough. They just played that super well, and they kind of defended against our what would you call it, defensive sack. They anticipated us needing to force their medic, despite having the point.
Right. That was just a good play from them, really.
Yeah. It's a good defensive play. They're somehow, I think they overextended here, fortunately.
Thanks, Doc.
What I want to do here is trade into them or force them before their players are relevant.
Right. Because you have a player advantage.
Yeah.
And soldier
at a minimum, I want to take ground off them. Ideally, we want to be forcing them. But if it's not possible for us to not get forced, then I kind of want to trade into them if they were super close, because that would mean we'd be able to take the point, trade, and by the time the post is over, their soldiers probably aren't relevant for the fight, which means we should essentially have won, quote unquote, the middle.
So TFU is all about just having better multiple options and pigeonholing the enemy into shitty forced options that they don't really want to do.
Yeah, and it's definitely about forcing the enemy to compromise.
Yeah, and make them choose between a rock and a hard place, pretty much.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the way to put it. Because if they you want to leverage your options in such a way that you're not just doing the same, or necessarily broadcasting the same one all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that means that they can structure themselves in a way that they can more effectively deal with that. But if you structure it in a way where you are potentially doing different things of your advantages or your disadvantages in the way I showed you before, that means that they are going to have to compromise in a way that they have to compromise in order to deal with multiple things, but that ends up making them weaker for both for the multiple solutions, if that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does. It does.
Really interesting stuff.
that like extends to like how the characters in this game position in general, like mid fights, for example. Like you pick a side, like you don't have everyone spread out, but like in a shit spot, like you kind of pick a side, consolidate like high ground health packs and like medic positioning, and just like kind of like choke them out. If that makes sense. Like it kind of like extends to like the micro decision making of like the game.
Yep, totally. So we have the point here.
Yep.
And we got this is called the stalemate. We have everyone's up. We have the point. Both teams have Uber.
Okay.
It's our goal is to like hold the point, obviously, without losing like a key advantage, like a player or our Uber advantage.
Yep.
They've got options. They can either try and trade into us, which is more aggressive play, and like hopefully they hope it goes better for them, or they can do a sack.
Right. Okay.
Or they could off class, but I don't think they do.
Okay, good.
Or they could do like a hybrid where they like pretend to do some sort of trade, which would force me to like try and engage them, and then they could turn that into a sack. You know, instead of committing.
Yeah, but then they don't do that.
Yeah.
Then you're the faggot.
Yeah.
And you're the
yeah, like for instance, give you a good example. You know, Snakewater. If you're doing like you're pushing grass from middle onto enemy second.
Yep.
A lot of players will come and like approach you from their bats and stuff to come like defend against you pushing their grass.
Yeah.
And then they overextend, and then you just fucking sack your soldiers in while you retreat with the combo. Like that's the sort of thing you can do. Like you don't want to, never want to like, unless you've got a massive broadcasters. Yeah, unless you've got a massive advantage, you never want to kind of overly broadcast what you're doing, because it doesn't really keep them guessing, and it makes them much better at dealing with what you're trying to do.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
Keep them frazzled. So this situation, they're doing. I think this is a reason why we had a big advantage on this map, is they're trading into us, but like they're doing multiple people, including the demo, which means that their Uber is not going to be as long, and also the trade is initiating here, which means that our equilibrium, our territory, whatever you want to call it, our position is like we've got so much more ground to work with. So what I should be doing here, the moment I like multi them, is immediately start to like try and shoot their flank if I can, to like make it so they're either low or out of position for the coming post. Which
are you making them like run away or like some shit?
Yeah. Because if these dudes are overextended and my Uber's longer and I'm pushing away the flank, that means the post and what I call the collapse is when your team comes in on the post collapse should be stronger.
They've got no one to collapse because you've just pushed away the people that can like do that. Meanwhile,
they don't necessarily have no one to collapse with, but like you want to minimize the amount of people they have for the post.
Yeah. Okay.
Here we go.
He's
out of the fight.
Yep. Next.
And then we still have the point here.
And these guys they're all kind of split up, and now he's coming back.
We're probably being a little passive here.
Yeah, that guy's good forward. This guy's forward. I think two scouts down.
They kind of turned it into a pseudo sack here.
Yeah.
We could have played it better. Like I think we could have done it more defensively. But it ended up working well for us. Like while the demo's in the Uber, ours is kind of like out to give me a longer Uber, and he's like trapping up and stuff, which is good for the post and reloading. But they're probably going to do a dry push here. So I could probably be holding more closer. Oh no, exactly. So like, typically, if we were much closer to Uber, had Uber. You know, you might be closer, or rather, how would I say this? If both teams weren't close to Uber, we'd probably be holding closer forward, like much more aggressively on them, because it's unlikely that they're gonna bother sacking for our medic if their medic is low percentage, because our medic could just spawn and we can go back into them before they even get charged. But the thing is here, I know that I think they have low percentage Uber, but ours is very high, and that's and Uber advantage is a massive advantage to have. So we don't want to risk losing Arnold here, hence why we play more passively.
Okay.
But they are capitalizing on here. Like they know that they've got like the presence of not having Uber here.
They're taking more ground.
Yeah, they're exploiting the fact that we are kind of want to be overly kind of inclined to be overly defensive because we want to retain Uber. Exactly, but on the opposite side, right? Yeah. So they're explaining the fact that they know that we need to get Uber here, thus they're taking position off us, which is good by them.
Yep. So that means when you inadvertently do have Uber, you're going to be playing from positional disadvantage.
Yeah, pretty much. And now I kind of want to go. I should be going into them with my team.
Yeah, because they've overstayed their welcome.
I accidentally meat shot you all. I didn't even notice that.
Yep.
This is a really awkward fight.
Yeah, you guys have lost a lot.
What I should have been doing better there is trading like more on my terms, i.e. their side. Like I don't want them to take a trade on my side because it just it just takes away so much position from my team and I lose vision.
Yeah, they can't really help you.
Yeah, I want them to spin. I don't want them to get a late pop on our side. I want them to be popping early on their side so they can't do a whole lot of stuff.
It's the same concept again, isn't it? Except like instead of standing on that rock so that the guy has to shoot at you or your teammate, it's like you want to like you kind of like still leverage like your strengths as a character like throughout the entire game.
Yep.
Making it difficult for them, like shooting between, like compromising.
I think so.
Mission ends in 10 seconds.
Follow me, Doc.
So they got a player to sad here, and I think we have Uberad. So we're trying to. I need my medic on me. Holy shit!
You do.
Where do we pop? I much prefer being on the right side here. I think it's better, but
more options.
We can't let them cap here.
I think you guys got this.
Yeah, so this is their desperation push here. They should have a player ad because our soldier died. I think no, you got the medic actually, so that's a really good thing. But like, all we need to do here is be super defensive, play the point, and force them into a, because they have to go into the point, right?
Yep.
So we can just force them to come to us. I should have been more passive, but that was, you can see what I mean. Like you can force their hand because they're desperate to take the objective.
Yeah, they can only go over the fucking. They can only go over the top.
Yeah, that's why it's important for like in sixes when you tap the last point to like force the enemy defending team to kind of compromise their position. Yeah, that's really strong.
Especially like I'm using double jump and shit. And forcing them and losing the pickies.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to take position here and like get info for my team. I think we lose. Oh no, I don't know.
It looks messy. That guy's alone.
I thought he was much lower, but works out for us. Even though the first cap hasn't been capped.
Yep.
We don't. We don't want. The important thing on KOF, there's a bug that's kind of weird. You don't want to let. You don't want to cap the first cap before your player is spawned.
Right. Because
there's a chance that his spawn is extended. It's kind of random, but it's true. And oh fuck. Yep. So now this is stalemate territory nearing Uber, where we just want to like not allow them onto the point.
Yep.
They're coming forward. What I should be doing here is trading into them. Like it's bad of me to.
Yeah, just like push them into you.
Yeah. It's okay though. I kind of salvage it by like shooting 3 non-Ubered players.
Yeah, but in theory it should be better. You should be like forward and like doing what you were doing before, like pressuring the flank, forcing a trade, shooting multiple people.
Fortunately, it works out. I don't know how much of that is on me. I think it's me, but I also need like support from my team so I can hold that position without feeding.
But then it's also you like calling that in the first place.
Absolutely, yeah. I definitely could have played it better, but it works out. Like, it's all about just winning the post essentially.
That's why combo is like interesting because it's like you like call the shots. So a lot of problems is like, sure the dude wasn't there, but like also you could have like set up that play too.
Yeah. And I'm just abusing the rock as much as I can because it's like very hard for them to hit me. When I'm on it.
Yep. That bit's forward. Nice. Good job.
I think it was we probably should have lost that in theory because they had a lot more position on us.
I think you guys just DM'd them.
Something. happened, but I reckon we could have been more defensive, like aggressively defensive about it.
Yep.
So you can immediately see, like, you can read their body language here, like they're walking up with the medic while the scout's like trying to edge forward, so you immediately know that they're doing a trade.
Yeah, yeah.
That's my
Absolutely.
cue to like try and initiate a better trade than them. So my goal is to force them with my demo, and my teammates are helping obviously, but we're trying to force them, we're trying to multi them on their side, and we're trying to like make sure that their Uber is like not really doing anything super relevant, like they're essentially chasing ghosts. And while that's going on, I am trying to like neutralize. I'm not necessarily trying to kill their flank. That'd be nice.
You're doing like stuff in reality, or they're doing stuff. Like,
I'm trying to like neutralize their flank so like they won't be relevant for the post.
Yeah, when you're they're like kind of like just fucking wasting their time, wasting their Uber, and like wasting their position.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of like chess actually. Except it's really fast and like stupid characters.
You can kind of see how since their Uber was forced over here and my teammates were retreating while I ran into them, that means that like Asher is probably one of the best pocket scouts in this, like in the Oceanic region, but like we can really like neutralize him. We neutralize him in this case by forcing him early, and then he's essentially what can he do? He had to like chase ghosts essentially, because my teammates know that when I'm taking a trade that like they fuck off essentially and just survive.
It's like multiplying strengths as a team.
Yeah.
Versus like addition.
And then they should just be sacking here, which is right, because they're not going to win a dry fight because they're missing players, so they do the right call to sack into us, but it's very hard to pull that off.
Yeah, absolutely.
60 seconds.
Thanks, Doc.
We get a sneaky semi trap on them, which is good.
That's very good. Very Israeli.
Yeah. When we get a critical, well, to be honest, all picks in KOF are critical. Like every class is really important. When we do get a pick like this, like a scout or a soldier or demo, it really doesn't matter. Like we're under no impetus to be overly aggressive into them. And risk dying, because that's what they're kind of seeking. Like they're at a deficit here.
They want you guys to throw.
Yeah, they want us to throw. They want us to like
don't throw.
Exactly. So I think what we will probably do here is just be like very like assertively defensive. We're not going to try and give them anything. But
calculated aggression.
Yeah.
Not let them like get like free territory for free. We're playing too passive or too scared.
Exactly, because if we do have an advantage such as a scout pick, that should mean that the longer the fight goes on until the scout arrives, that we accrue that advantage of having a player.
Yeah.
Because scouts do steady amounts of damage over time.
Yep. And you're getting the clock too, which is good.
I think we somehow throw it actually, despite me saying all that shit.
Was that just because you guys just bled players though?
Maybe. I'm definitely trying to like abuse those high grounds that you saw me jumping on. Like the boxes and all that junk and stuff, because it just makes it much harder for the soldier to engage you.
BM stuff I'm learning really fast, which is good.
Just trying to pepper them before they come in.
Having a gun, full clip. Now they're going to do that death push.
And I'm looking for a
flank
players,
not unseen. So now you're going to like make sure the post is good. Guess you see one guy. That was good.
So as a general rule, you're trying to like achieve advantages and then not relinquish them, I guess.
And then use them like effectively, efficiently, constructively.
But also, when you're losing, you want to like exploit your disadvantages. As weird as that sounds.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Like if the enemy team knows that you need to make like a desperation, well, not a desperation move, but like a sack move, like sacking their medic and stuff. You can exploit the fact that they're gonna potentially compromise their position.
So it's like just because it's disadvantage doesn't mean it's like bad, if that makes sense.
Well, it's when you're at a disadvantage, it's a disadvantage, but it can open up opportunities. It's kind of like a cornered animal sort of thing, I guess.
Okay. And it's like if you have an advantage, it's like it's still like your advantage to lose as well.
True. And while it's good to like accrue more advantage, it becomes to a point where like it's excessive. It becomes unnecessary risk.
You gotta like.
Which is what happened last night. Like we had a scrim and like we were stomping, and then we kind of like threw by being overly. We kind of just we should have just parked.
Yeah, turn your brain off.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's the big thing too in this game as well. It's very tiring. These like scrims, pugs, and shit. They're very like not draining, but like they take a lot of out of you. Definitely have to like figure out routines and like stretching and shit.
That's probably good for now. That's like I think that's a pretty good like insight into COD in general. And it does have some application into sixes, but it's like not nearly as concentrated.
My streams start this week, so I can actually start not having shitty pub games and mercs to go over, which I'm really excited for.
Yeah.
Is that like where that's like the meat and potatoes, aren't there? Like scrims and like 20 games.
What's that, mate?
That's like the meat and potatoes, isn't there? Scrims and 20 games and shit like that.
Of TF2?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say pugs as well. Like when pugs are popular, they're not popular at the moment.
Right. So like a good pug is like when everyone's kind of like calling, coming.
Unfortunately, pugs have kind of devolved in that regard lately. But
that's right.
Well, I think that's a good place to cut it for now.
Yeah, I'm running like pretty fucking fast. I feel like I'm starting to get it like really quickly now. It's like starting to self-propagate. Like I'm more constrictive and like critical of like what I do now.
Yeah.
It's like also it's not just like very basic like stand here. It's like very much like I'm thinking about why to stand here, what to do next.
Yeah, you develop like these fundamental understandings of like the mechanics, and then via intuition and experience you learn how to make better decisions, I guess.
Yep. I'm thinking a lot like what's off the map too, and like leveraging like different things, and like I think my next stage as like playing is to like start like not only like having more confidence in that too, but also like putting that together and like making calls regarding that.
This is how I think you improve quickly, like just rather than just kind of brute forcing via like dumb experience like some AI would, you know what I mean?
Yeah. This is the human Z-axis.
Right. Okay. I kill this fucking thing.